The BBC presenter in the middle of the ongoing sexting scandal faces new allegations after allegedly sending creepy messages to a 17-year-old. It's claimed that the presenter, who has not been named, randomly sent a message via Instagram DMs to a teen which included hearts and kisses. However, it is not clear whether the presenter in question was aware of the individual's age at the time of sending the messages. The fourth person to come forward and make claims against the household name branded the messages creepy, 5 years after the presenter struck up a conversation. In later messages, the broadcaster appears to be responding in a blunt manner after the recipient didn't respond in a flirtatious manner. In messages obtained by The Sun, the presenter allegedly sent a heart emoji, before the teen responded, "Haha sweet," while adding, "How's it going over at the BBC?" The presenter replied, "All good thanks sex. You okay?" before sending another heart emoji. "Aha yeah why?" asked the teen before the man who is not being named replied, "Just being polite X." The pair conversed throughout the day about their daily antics before the teenager asked, "How's your work going? Must be really interesting." The teenager sent the broadcaster a picture on November 11, to which he replied with a red love heart emoji. A later message sent on January 10 read, "Hi, star's name, I've got the opportunity to take part in the BBC. It's my last year at school and sounds like it might be fun. Do you think I should go for it?" To which he replied, "Yes, no question." In an interview with The Sun, the teen said, "Looking back now it does seem creepy because he was messaging me when I was still at school. In light of everything now, I feel shocked because as a broadcaster it is a name everyone would trust. I had no reason to think it was anything beyond that at that time." The teen admits to being stunned by the initial message as he recognized the broadcaster before adding, "Knowing what I know now, I feel I was a bit naive. In light of what I know now, it feels as though when he realized I was not flirtatious back, he changed in the way he would reply." Yesterday, the BBC said that the corporation takes these matters extremely seriously as it released a timeline into how the original complaint was managed. BBC boss Tim Davie also spoke about the period of time it took the network to investigate the allegations, saying, "I think it's right and fair-minded that they, investigators, should make contact with the individual who made that initial allegation to audience services, get some verification and talk to that person and understand exactly what they're dealing with before they raise that with an individual presenter." The BBC have now paused their investigations while the Metropolitan Police look into the allegations that a presenter paid for explicit images and will consider whether a criminal investigation will be launched. A statement from the BBC, shared yesterday, reads, "Yesterday, 10th of July, the BBC's corporate investigations team had a meeting with the Metropolitan Police in relation to information provided to the BBC by The Sun newspaper on Thursday 6th of July. As a result of this meeting, the BBC has been asked to pause its investigations into the allegations while the police scope future work. We know that questions have been asked about how the complaint was initially managed, so today we have published an update that sets out key dates and some additional information that we are currently able to share. The BBC has processes and protocols for receiving information and managing complaints when they are first made. We always take these matters extremely seriously and seek to manage them with the appropriate duty of care. The events of recent days have shown how complex and challenging these kinds of cases can be and how vital it is that they are handled with the utmost diligence and care. There will, of course, be lessons to be learned following this exercise. Although the current issues has not yet been fully resolved, the Director General has asked Lita Vaziva, the BBC's Group Chief Operating Officer, to assess whether our protocols and procedures are appropriate in light of this case, and report to the BBC board on this in due course. The corporation also shared a timeline of key dates, which revealed the day they had received a complaint from parents of the young person whom the presenter is alleged to have paid £35,000 to for sexually explicit photos. The timeline is as follows. May 18, the BBC were approached by a family member of the anonymous teen on May 18, where the complainant visited a BBC building to make the complaint. May 19, the family member then contacted the BBC Audience Services on May 19 and details of this contact were referred to the BBC's Corporate Investigations team. On the same day, the BBC's Corporate Investigations team assessed the information contained in the complaint provided from Audience Services. The BBC adds, the assessment made was that on the basis of the information provided it did not include an allegation of criminality, but nonetheless merited further investigation. The BBC's Corporate Investigations team emailed the complainant stating how seriously the BBC takes the issue and seeking additional information to verify the claims being made. There was no response to this contact. And checks were also made to verify the identity of the complainant, which the corporation described as a standard procedure to confirm that the complainant is the person they say they are. June 6, after receiving no response from the complainant following the email, a phone call was made to the mobile number provided by the complainant by the BBC's Corporate Investigations team. However, the call did not connect. The BBC adds, following these attempts to make contact with the complainant, the Corporate Investigations team were due to return to the matter in the coming weeks. No additional attempts to contact the complainant were made after 6 June, however the case remained open throughout. July 6, the BBC was informed by the Sun newspaper via the press office of the allegations. The broadcaster adds, it became clear that the source of the claims was from the same family as approached the BBC on 18 and 19 May. Further, it adds, this was the first time that the Director General or any executive directors at the BBC were aware of the case. It has also been claimed the allegations set out by the newspaper contain new allegations which were different to the matters being considered by BBC Corporate Investigations. The BBC initiated an incident management group to lead the response to this case, involving senior BBC executives including the Director General. The acting chairman was updated, and the board was regularly updated in the coming days. It adds, a senior manager held the first conversation on this matter with the presenter concerned, to make him aware of the claims being outlined by the newspaper. It was then agreed that the presenter would not be on air while this matter was being considered. July 7, following the contact from the newspaper, the BBC's Corporate Investigations team contacted the complainant again, who was in touch with the BBC's investigators. It adds, the BBC's Serious Case Management Framework, SCMF, was initiated and the investigation being undertaken by the Corporate Investigations team was brought into the SCMF, which is chaired by a Human Resources Director. The BBC also made contact with the police over the allegations. July 8 and July 9, the BBC was sent materials by the complainant which were related to the complaint. July 9, the BBC issued an update to staff and the media. The BBC also confirmed that it had suspended the presenter. July 10, the BBC met with the police to report the matter and discuss how to progress the investigation. The police have requested that the BBC pause its investigations into the allegations while they scope future work.